Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Bounce Opinion Sports Podcast, which you got the host and most amount of the plan, Yawa King ECG and Manila.
Yo, it's your boy Navinci. Starve the ego, feed the soul.
And the Buffalo Kid.
It's your boy Sly, man. Buffalo shit.
Hey, yo, before we start this up, shout out to Buffalo. They went to Detroit, took care of work, and then they're going to come back and take care of Detroit later. So, that's just a little something for y'all, you know what I mean? Buffalo's still my pick no matter how good the Kansas City Chiefs are looking. But enough of that. Let's get into what happened yesterday. So to all the Cowboy fans out there, me personally, let me solo myself. I want to do this for y'all. But it's the regular season. Let's see what you do when the playoffs come, okay? To the playoffs, I don't want to hear y'all talking nothing because y'all can look like a pot of gold during the regular season and come to the playoffs and you're a first-round exit. You know what I mean? Go ahead and have all the highlights you want of what you did in the regular season. But we all know it ain't a thing without the ring, right, gentlemen?
Well, you're right. But, as for now, for the moment, it looks good for Dallas. Horrible for the Vikings that most people consider the way they're playing should be a contender. And to get the bricks beat off you like that is it's horrible. I mean, that could do certain things to your season, man. It could kill your motivation. But, props to Dallas for going out there, taking care of business against a very, like I said, tough team that most people said is a contender, because they're right up there in the power rankings.
Well, what do you think, Sly?
Yeah, man. As a person who I'm definitely a certified Cowboy hater.
Yep.
But man, that's a good team over there, man, and that's an impressive win, no matter how you slice it. Like, I mean, they went in there and like really put the hammer down, though. Like that was a decisive, like dominating every facet of the game type of win. Like one of them make a statement type of wins, and if you're trying to discredit that, and you just literally don't know ball, or you even bigger hater than me. So. So man, yeah, shout out to them boys over there. They got something special brewing, man. I think the question now is what they gonna do? They gonna keep that momentum flowing now, or they gonna go holler at Odell? Like, I think that's a little interesting scenario they got brewing right now. Like, if I'm Jerry Jones, like I might just stand pat.
You don't think they should go get Odell?
I mean, I don't, man. I feel like they should probably, like, a lot of times a big personality like Odell Beckham it's gonna take time to implement him in and time for people to adjust. Like, I think it would be kind of tough, especially when you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, like a team that's already like, man, they on a fringe, and they could go off the handle any minute. So like, you never know what just dropping a little something new in there could do. So if I'm Jerry Jones, I might chill out on this one and try to win me a Super Bowl with what I got.
So what you saying that, Sly, my question to you is, do you think if they go and get Odell Beckham, there's a possibility he can ruin the chemistry of the team? Because we all know how he is at certain times,
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's not the same player, he's still gonna have that idea in him that, I should be getting more ball and everything, and just mess up the chemistry they have now. So on that part, I do agree with you. Like, they should just let him be and just, ride with what you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, Odell, that's one of my favorite players of all time. And coming off an injury too, like that's another thing you got to factor in. Like, he's coming off the injury, he hasn't really had time to he hasn't played in a while. So it's like you don't know what you're getting, first of all, on the field, and then like kind of Odell, even though all his teammates love him, but he does bring a certain level of like distraction away from the game. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what the media gonna be talking about. It's gonna be a whole and a team like the Cowboys, they don't need no more distraction. They're a distraction in themselves. Like,
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that whole thing. But I also think that if they did get Odell, maybe he could fit in that system with Dak and maybe give CeeDee Lamb that number 2 treatment but he'd still be the number one because they would focus so much on Odell. Because I mean, look what he did for Cooper Kupp. Even though he came, what was it like mid-season? If that is fair to say, last year to the
Mhm.
Rams, even though he
Yeah.
came mid-season, Cooper Kupp's numbers went crazy, and Cooper Kupp got better looks and was able to become the player that we think he is. Even though, the Rams, Jesus, peace.
But
Yo,
is it?
talk about a fall from grace.
But
That's
it,
A
is it?
fall from grace.
But yeah, let me jump. Is it safe to say that the Rams last year needed Odell Beckham? And is it safe to
facts.
say that the Dallas Cowboys really don't need him that much?
How do you figure that they don't need him? Look,
I
okay,
mean, bro, they're
yet
doing their
again,
thing.
no, but yet again, remember that the Rams, up until they acquired Odell, they had Robert Woods. It
Yeah.
was like it was a crazy coincidence that the minute they got Odell,
He got
Woods
hurt.
got injured.
Yeah.
So imagine having that three-headed monster, how much more damage they would have done with a freshly new, revigorated Matthew Stafford coming into a situation where he's coming into a ready-made team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to Dallas now, that definitely would help them, tremendously to have that third guy where Odell being a Dallas Cowboy isn't gonna really hurt him. It's not gonna hurt the Dallas Cowboys. If anything, it's gonna accentuate what they are. He's a star. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna
Yeah.
feel like, yo, this is our man's. And on top
Well,
of it, he's not looking for a short-term deal. So even if they got him for 2 years, Dak now has another safety outlet. Because let's not act like Odell is and you know what? Odell's not Deshaun Jackson. He's not a burner in that sense. But those short routes, if you give him a short route, that boy can turn that joint all the way up. Let's not act like Odell wasn't cooking before he got injured. Okay?
well,
In the Super Bowl.
it's safe to say that any team in the NFL can use Odell Beckham on their team, right? Because he's that great of a phenomenal player, right? But it's just at the same thing. It's like, okay, what kind of personnel, what kind of personality he's gonna come in with on the field? What he's gonna do, how he's gonna come with these other guys. Because Odell Beckham is a big personality, bro. He's a
Yeah.
big name, right? I think that's something we got to talk about when we were talking about these situations about him going to a team.
Yeah,
But
but I could see him fitting into kind of that same role with that he had with the Rams. I could kind of see him sliding to a similar role with the Cowboys, though, kind of playing behind CD Lamb and, well, I wouldn't say Michael Gallup, but probably they probably in this around the same level priority with the team. I mean, if Odell were to join, so I could kind of see him slide to a similar role. The difference is that's not the same team. Like they don't. I feel like coaching wise, they're not. Even with Dak, Dak is still kind of coming off an injury, still getting adjusted. So it's like they don't have that same level of continuity. I'm not even quite sure they got the same level of talent over there that Rams team has. So I don't know, it's iffy, man. It's like you want to play with that fire or because I don't think the Cowboys got what it take to. I don't think they got as presently constructed. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. So I will understand why you might want to add something in, but it's that's why it's so tricky.
Yeah,
I,
but
I feel you. Hold on. I feel you. But hold on, though. For the Dallas Cowboys yesterday,
mhm.
all three facets played top notch: special teams, defense, and offense. Now, I'm not saying that they need to play at that level, but if they can even give 60% of that effort and that level, they're dangerous, man. And then you add Odell, like Michael Parsons is not no joke, okay? I think he's changed their defensive line for the better. I'm not saying he's anywhere near LT because that would be disrespect to LT. LT is the greatest defensive player of all time. Yes, I know I should be saying Sanders, but LT was something different. My boy was doing the woo-ha on the side, and he came in there with all ill intentions. He was trying to break necks, break legs, and twist people up. You know what I'm saying? And for my Giants fan, who's here, he got the defensive player of the year and the rookie of the year the same year, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do with that? But I digress. Da Vinci, go ahead, sir. And then one more, and then we'll get
Well,
up out of this one.
well, yo, what's the name had a game yesterday too. Pollard, man, he had
No
a
problem.
monster game, bro. Woo.
Make them question why Zeke's there.
That's a
Oh my
fact.
goodness, man. Yo, 80 yards rushing and like I think it was like a whole 109
Receiving
receiving. Yeah, 2 TDs, man. God, average I think was like 18 yards or something.
madness.
Yeah, that boy
Madness.
cold, man. He cold. I've been
Yeah.
saying that for a while, man. I feel like anybody, if you watching up NFC East football, man, we've been saying the same thing about Pollard. Like, yo, keep Zeke. Let's keep Zeke on the field because once they figure out that this boy over here is special, it's gonna be a problem for the league, man.